What's up everybody, Thomas from DJI, and today I want to review the Avata. If you've been asking already, Thomas, where's your review, but I wanted to hold it off and put it to its paces first and then come to a final conclusion. I did evening flying, sunset flying, bando bashing, and I actually did a commercial job with it. And in conclusion, for all the haters, it's not the best drone out there. Definitely not, but it is one of the most versatile, how would you say, digital drones available. First of all, the best pros are the range. The range is insane. The penetration, it's awesome. It definitely beats the V2 already right away. I did had to put the FCC hack on it because in standard mode it wasn't really powerful, but neither is the normal or the old one, the V2s. So in conclusion, one of the best points is the range and at least the penetration. And the second thing is just very easy to use. I don't have to worry about an extra camera. Don't worry about the batteries for it and filters because all is already in the drone. Secondly, when you are flying and you see, oh, my ND is too high or too low, you can just adjust it from the goggles instead of you have to go take your camera off, put your settings there. So you can adjust it while you're, well, not while you're flying, but when you're flying, you just land it, adjust with your goggles. Another pro is this very neat sliding screen. First few seconds I had to get used to it, but it works quite intuitive and I'm actually faster through the menu, so that's definitely another plus. What is it not? It's not the perfect, quiet, cinematic indoor drone. Why I say with this, because you have a 2.5-inch, which would be a lot more precise, and I would also say less clunky, because one of the downsides of it is its weight. It weighs around 400, 500 gram. It's not a light, chubby drone. It's I would say not a fatso, but it's definitely from its previous where you had the big Bertha. DJI IPV was heavy, was nearly 1 kilo. It's still half of a kilo, and you notice that. And yes, it's a Cinewhoop, so you don't have to race with it. But that said, it does take quite some power just to get the drone lifted. So I would say definitely in manual mode, it's, I wouldn't say hard to control, but if you have never flown a Cinewhoop before, then you're like, whoa, this is quite hard. But that's just the reality of Cinewhooping. It's harder than it looks like. We make it look simple, but it definitely is not. Durability wise, I think it's quite strong. I crashed it properly and all I had to do is change some props. A big downside from that is props are expensive. Same like the whole DJI idea is shut up, take my money. If you're not willing to do that, you shouldn't be flying the DJI because it's expensive. For example, a set of props is €9. That's like $10. It's quite expensive. That said, you're not gonna freestyle whoop with it, so you want to take it easy and you shouldn't be going through that many props. What else can I say about it in general? What would be bad? Bad is the accessibility of the SD card and the USB slot. But I put back the difference because I'm used to specific Cinewhoops where it's a pain in the ass. I have to open up the drone to get inside. And here it's a little bit, I would not say very handy, but I understand that's just the location of the air unit where the plugs will come out. That said, could they change it? I think it's at a good spot. I'm not complaining. It is a point of interest, and I do use an adapter, so in general it's quite easy to get in. I recommend to use an adapter where you can have like a magnet point or just an L adapter so you can get easier into it. What else can I say? The ND filters also quite expensive, but I found some knockoffs online for at least half of the price, or I think actually 1/3. So again, DJI, shut up, take my money, yes. But there's already alternatives being brought on the market, so definitely check those out. What else can I say? The flight time. It is a 2040 milliampere battery. That's quite heavy. That said, it can actually carry it, and it is considerably small. I can get around 9 minutes flying, and that's on the conditions where it's windy, I'm throttling it, and I'm actually flying properly. I would say I can get maybe 12-30 minutes, but realistically just aim around 9. But for me that's more than enough. If I have 2 packs I can fly almost 20 minutes with it. I would say definitely approved. Low light situation quite well. Put your example here. Durability is quite well. also another example. But what I really like about it is in general the calmness, the peace you get with the return to home function on it. Always call it an Android. It's like it's a flying computer. Definitely. I didn't lose connection yet, but if I would, I know it comes back in general. In general, because I lost my DJI FPV once. But that said, it gives you a lot more comfort. Also in the screen, you have the information quite viable, properly recorded as well. In post-production, you can use the subtitles or just the imprinted information in your video clip. So that's also quite cool if you want to feedback some information. What else can I say? I think in general, I would, if in a scale from 1 to 10, I give it a 9. It definitely can have some small improvements, but in general, I think DJI did a badass job by delivering another drone. Remember, guys, DJI is a clothes brand. They are not an FPV community product. They just out there to make money. That said, they are delivering the highest quality, or at least proper quality, where you're buying for. Every product's gonna have its minuses. Would I recommend it for professional use? I used it here for professional shots, but in general, is the camera enough? I would say in most cases it would be enough. Not on high-end productions, but in general, where with marketing purposes, it should be enough to use it. So can you use it commercially? Definitely. Is it the best graded camera out there? No, but the native camera is good. So definitely a pro. One point I really want to address is that the GPS is going to be wonky if you have low satellite connections. I personally didn't experience it much because I fly manual, but I heard from many people who fly in normal mode or with the I call it the dildo with the stupid controller. The moment they lose connection or RC connection, the GPS are not grabbing it and the drone is going haywire. So make sure you have enough GPS or satellites when you're flying normal mode. And in general, think twice about your return to home settings. If you're inside, you don't want it to return to home but just land after RC loss. So think about that as well. In general, but especially with the DJI drones, you don't want to get it through the roof and through the ceiling to get back at you. That's about it. So if you have any questions about the drone, drop them below. And DJI, good job. I'm looking forward to the next drone. Yo! So, thank you for watching. I'll go in depth about the goggles on itself, but for now, just my experience about the Avata. Thanks for watching. On the left, check a video. On the right, check the playlist. And on the bottom, please subscribe. See you next time.